Okay, I just realized I made a little mistake at the end of the last example. I think I was rushing a bit because I knew my 15 minutes were almost up. I forgot to include the 7. That was on the outside as one of the things that I should have subtracted. And so let's just include the 7 as one of the 5 regions I should subtract. And so 6 plus 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 23. 100 minus a total of 23. And that leaves me with the 77 inside, as I anticipated. Okay? Let's go on now to number 4. We have 52 students. 30 study Spanish. 15 have computers. And 7 of the students who study Spanish also have computers. That must mean that there's 7 students who do both Spanish and computers. They belong to both sets. So maybe that would be the first one we could fill in. Students who study Spanish and also have computers, we know there's 7 of those. And so let's fill that in. 7 who study Spanish and have computers. There's a total of 30 who study Spanish. So that's the total Spanish studiers, 30. And if we've used 7 of them who do have computers, how many are left who do not? That must be the other 23. Now then, if we've got a total of 52 students who study Spanish, that must mean that there's 22 who do not study Spanish. Furthermore, we've been told that there are 15 students with computers, so the total students who have computers would be 15. Well, that must mean then that there's only 8 students of our 15 total computer owners who do not study Spanish because the other 7 do. We're almost finished. Of all the 22 non-Spanish studiers, 8 of them do have computers. How many do not? There must be the other 14. And so how many do not have computers total? Well, we got these 23 and these 14, giving 37. And here's a quick way of double-checking. Is it true that 15 plus 37 equals 52? Yes. So this is a very consistent table. We've abided by all of the given information and everything makes sense. In part B, we need to draw and label fully a Venn diagram to illustrate this information. So it says to use U for the set of all the students who were surveyed. S is the students who study Spanish, and C is the students who have a computer. And here's our universal set around the outside. It always fits when you draw it last. It says then, well, I wonder whether that's it. It's possible that we get full credit at this stage. I always get a little nervous that they're also expecting us to fill in some of the numbers into those regions. So it's good practice. Why don't we do that? I'm sure we're going to need them in the subsequent questions anyway. So we're looking for the students who study Spanish and have computers. I'm deliberately going for this one first because it represents the intersection of these two circles. And we know that it's easiest to fill in the circles from, or a Venn diagram, from the inside out. So there's 7 in that region. The other 23 people of the 30 in the Spanish circle do not have a computer, thus they are not in the C circle. And of the 15 computer owners, there were 7 in the Spanish circle and 8 outside. There's the 7 plus 8, the total of 15 computer owners. And outside circle S and also outside circle C would be the people who do not study Spanish and do not have a computer. That's going to be these 14. Another way you could have argued that 14 would be to say, well, I know I have a total of 52 students in the situation. I've already used 23 plus 7 plus 8 of them. That's 38. Let's take away that 38 from 52 and you'll be left with 14 in the only available region. Part C, let's describe in words the set represented by C union S naught. So we're talking about the students who do have computers, C, or S naught, do not study Spanish. So let's write that down. they are the students who do not have a computer, or, oh shoot, they do have a computer, don't they? Sorry, my bad, let's change that. Who do have a computer. Do have a computer, or do not study Spanish. Part D, we need to find the number of people who are in this region. So looking on our diagram that we filled in, how many are there that they are in the C circle or they are not in the S circle? This can be a tricky thing to do unless you remember that with the OR symbol, and you might be going, oh, OR, it's the MasterCard symbol. No, it's not. It's only the MasterCard symbol when neither one of them is a not. If it was C union S, sure, it would be all of this stuff. But because it's C union S not, I suggest maybe that you shade something, maybe you can shade circle C, because you know that all of these will be included. And you don't need to change colors when it's an OR. We're not looking for the region of overlap. We're looking to be as inclusive as possible. So let's also shade S naught, everything outside circle S. And we don't need the region of overlap, so everything I've shaded is a part of my solution set. And you'll notice I've shaded everything except for these 23 people. Or you could say, so we could do 52 minus 23, or we could just do 7 plus 8 plus 14, and that gives you an answer of 29. Another way maybe you could have argued this is by looking up in the original table, and we can see that we've got 15 who have computers, and we can see that there's 22 who do not study Spanish. That appears to be a total of 37, but be careful, you counted this 8 twice. These 8 people, you counted them as having computering people, and you also counted them as do not study Spanishing people. You don't want to count those same 8 people twice, so that total of 37 that we have, we can just subtract the 8 that we counted twice, and 37 minus 8 gives you 29. Number 5. The Venn diagram shows the number of students studying science, math, and history out of a group of 20. Some of the students do not study any of these subjects. 8 study science, 10 study math, 9 study history. Alright, so there's our, we got our Venn diagram. Oh, darn. Okay. So, how many students belong to the region labeled A? Okay, so, well, we know how many math students there are, right? Tells us that 10 study mathematics. We've already used 1 plus 2 plus 3 of them. We've used a total of 6 of them, and that must mean that there's only 4 left. So our 10 math students minus the 1 plus 2 plus 3 yields 10 minus 6, which is 4 students, and therefore A is equal to 4. Describe in words the region labeled as A. Well, this region, these are the people who are in the math circle, so they do take mathematics, but they're not in the S or H circles, so they do not take science, nor do they take history. So maybe the easiest way to say this is they are the students who only take math. And I suppose you could put in parentheses, you know, and do not take science or history. But that's kind of redundant, having said who only take math. How many students do not study any of the 3 subjects? Well, now we know that A is equal to 4. We can remember that there's a total of 20 students in the in this college, or in this group, And so let's add up everything that we've got so far. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. I've only accounted for 18 students so far, or maybe you could argue, so of course there's 2 on the outside, but maybe you could argue then that I've got a total of 20 students. Let's subtract the sum of all of these other regions. And you'll see that we're doing 20 minus 18, and that's what gives us the 2 who study none of them. So our answer down here is 2. Part B. Draw a sketch of the Venn diagram above and shade the region which represents S0 intersection H. So I'm just going to duplicate my Venn diagram here, just a sketch of it. I won't worry about my numbers. So I've got S on the left, M on the right, H on the bottom. S, M, H. Don't forget the rectangle, and that's my universal set. Did they label it like that? I imagine they probably did. Yes, they did, up there in the top left corner. And it wants us to now shade in the region S0 intersection H. So here we go. These are all of the people that are outside S. I'm going to use this technique of shading in a different color. They are outside S. So everything outside circle S. And at the same time, that is to say that we are going to need the region of overlap. So let's change colors. They are inside circle H. So I'll shade everything inside circle H. And now you can see then that the region which I have used both colors on, things that are abiding by both conditions simultaneously, or that is to say, if you want in other words to say, where are the people outside the science circle, but inside the history circle, I think you'd realize, again, that just like this region of overlap, this is the part that you would shade. That's your final solution. And part C, you need to calculate the number of people who are in S union H. So S union H, that's the MasterCard symbol. So we need to calculate the total number of people who are in S union, oops, I went the wrong way, S union H. So the left circle and the bottom circle, all of those guys together. So I can see that's 4 plus 1, plus 1 plus 2, plus 3 plus 3. So 4 plus 1, plus 1 plus 2. Did I do that right? Plus 1 plus 2. Yes, plus 3 plus 3. And that gives us a total of 8, 19, 20, 14 students. And we could have also found this by realizing that in that MasterCard symbol, we're taking every single number that we've written in our Venn diagram except for 2 and 4. Those are the only 2 that we don't want. So we can take our 20 college students, we can exclude these 6, and of course you'd be left with 14 who take science or history.